Hello, my name is Mark Taylor, and welcome to the Education on Fire podcast. The place for creative and inspiring learning from around the world. Listen to teachers, parents and mentors share how they are supporting children to live their best authentic life and are proving to be a guiding light to us all. Hello and welcome back to the Education on Fire live podcast. It's always great to be able to come here on YouTube, the opportunity for us to be able to come together. If you have any questions, if you have any comments you'd like to put in the comment, please do that. I can always bring that up on screen and it gives us a chance to connect as well. If you just want to sit and listen, that's absolutely fine too, but I'm really delighted to be able to be here and share what we're talking about today. So exactly, what are we here to share about? So we're going to be talking about Lepra, and we've had Lepra on the audio podcast before, and if you haven't done that, you can find that on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you normally get your podcasts, and check out exactly a little bit of history of those, and we'll have a little bit of a catch-up of that as well. But as you can see, they've got a free competition going on, and they've got a new event which they're going to be chatting to us about, which is going to be really exciting, and we have a time limit on here of going into the beginning of the autumn term, so we wanted to make sure we could get on, give you the opportunity to hear about it now, give you the opportunity to share it with all your friends and colleagues around the schools as well, to make sure that you don't miss out. So in case you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. It's always great to make sure that you have all the latest information, and also that notification bell, which means that you'll get obviously notified as soon as we're going live, should you not have seen it on the email or anything else which is going through as well. So I'm delighted to welcome Krista to the show. Krista, thank you so much for joining us. It's fantastic to have this sort of recap of Lepra, obviously having had a connection before. But yeah, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hi, Mark. Thanks so much for having me.
Fantastic. So I know, as we said, there's a competition, there's a fundraising opportunity. So give us a sort of a bit of an insight as to what this is all about.
Yeah, of course. So, as you've mentioned in our previous podcast, we talked about a schools program that Lepra hold at schools. We hold virtual talks, which involves sending the school an assembly, talk about leprosy and the work that Lepra do as well for people that are affected by leprosy in the places that we work, which are India and Bangladesh. We find it really important to raise awareness to young pupils. We've been doing it for over 50 years, and it's something that we really want to continue, like engaging our young people, and which is why we've also launched this competition. So we thought it's a great way to bring on new schools on board. Hopefully, if they're lucky enough to win a fantastic prize as well. So yeah, just trying to engage as many more schools as we can.
And I think for me, after I'd had our previous podcast, I was chatting to her about it at home, and I think there was one, if not two, of our children had been involved in a fundraising activity when they were at primary school. So it was, I thought, I knew that came across it before. I knew that there'd been something related to it in our sort of personal experience as well. But yeah, they remembered it very fondly.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I suppose you don't know who you could be reaching out to, or I think a lot of our students as well, they remember these sort of events because it's quite different from their usual curriculum activities. So it's like quite fun, the different fundraising activities they get involved in, the sponsored events. They can be creative and entrepreneurial as well. So yeah, it really is something quite different that we like to bring to the table and like to get the teachers involved in as well. So yeah, something that's really great to be a part of.
So take us into what this particular event is and some of the details.
Yeah. So basically, this school's competition, we launched it in the spring. And the idea is we want to get more schools to come on board with our schools program. So if they book a schools talk at the moment, they'll receive a virtual video. They'll also receive support from ourselves with setting up a JustGiving page, some ideas around fundraising activities to get involved in, as well as some resources as well. So if we're asking schools to book between now and October the 30th, and if they book a school talk, then they'll be entered into the competition to win three fantastic prizes. So it could either be a tablet, a literacy book bundle, which has been sponsored kindly by Walker Books, or £100 Amazon voucher. So, some really great prizes to, have the school potentially win. And also, they'll be able to raise awareness about leprosy to their young people and get involved in being part of one of these schools programs, one of these fundraising events, that we will be able to support them on that journey with. So, yeah, it's exciting to basically have more schools getting engaged and being able to be a part of Lepra and the work that we do.
And I guess as well, just to sort of to clarify, it's actually making sure you've booked the event before the end of October rather than actually having it necessarily delivered in that time.
Yeah, that's right. So even if you book your talk, oh, sorry, if it's not taking place before the 30th of October, so if you wanted to take place in the spring or the summer term in 2024, then that's absolutely fine. You'll still be entered into the competition. So it's basically just booking the talk by the 30th of October, even if you haven't decided what your fundraising activity may be. It's just more getting that date in, and then you'll be entered into the draw.
And take us into the events and the fundraising opportunities, because I think if I remember rightly before, they can be as sort of eventful and as sort of dynamic as your thought process, really.
Yeah, so I mean, we have a lot of different ideas that come through. When a school does come on board, we sort of give an initial ideas of what they may want to take part in. So there's a creative fundraising project, which is basically where we sort of say, if people want to do a sponsored event, whether that be a sponsored silence or do some housework and raise funds for that, or do a sponsored walk, then they can do whatever they fancy doing, and asking their friends and family to raise funds for them on, and basically we will be able to provide them with a sponsorship envelope that they could take home, to then encourage their friends and family to complete and put some cash in that donations within that, or they can have a JustGiving page so their friends and family can donate online. Another idea that we have is also our Move for Lepra challenge. So this is quite an exciting one as well. We'd get the school, sometimes it's a year group. So a year group may want to take on a challenge of moving or covering the distance of North India to South India, which is just under 2,000 miles as a year group. Or they may want to cover the distance from their school to India, which can be over 4,000 miles, and then ask their friends and family to raise sponsorship. And the kids could do, or the students, sorry, can be doing like running, walking, swimming, scootering. It's like completely up to them. So it makes it as inclusive as possible, for everybody to take part.
And I guess that's the thing, isn't it? Because you might have different year groups, it might be the whole school, and so you can then really make it very personalised to make it fit with the people that are going to be involved.
Yeah, that's right. I think for us, we normally have year sevens. That's quite a popular year group that we have. Sometimes as well, we work with sixth form or colleges as well. So it can really range. So yeah, we can obviously alter our sort of messaging and communications to fit for whatever age group would like to take part. But yeah, we sort of come across year sevens a lot, that want to take part in our Lepra school programs.
Yeah, and I guess that makes sense, doesn't it? Because you've got that transition from primary into secondary. You haven't got the GCSEs and the kind of the exam structure already in place at that stage. It's you've got the time and the inclination, and I guess the ability to kind of really dive into some of those conversations as well.
Yeah, that's right. And I think for a lot of the students as well that take part, it's important for their PSHE, head of years that get in touch, head of year sevens, or we have PSHEs, sort of leads that get in touch as well that want to take part. And sometimes for faith schools as well, pastoral leads. So they will get in touch with us asking to take part with the Lepra Schools program. So it really ranges, and it's great just to have a diverse audience.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of the sort of range of schools, sort of geographically, I guess it really doesn't matter. The sort of the more the merrier, and as long as you can sort of do the fundraising in your way and be in touch, then it can be from anywhere.
Yeah, of course. We have schools that take part all the way up to Scotland. So, yeah, it can be all over the UK, which we're really proud of. And we really want to just raise awareness to as many young people as possible. Leprosy is seen as a disease of the past, but it still exists today. And we really want to, engage with young people to let them know about this disease and how it is still affecting many people across the world today. and for us working in India and Bangladesh, some people may not have visited those countries before, some of these students, but sort of giving them a sort of preview or showcasing exactly what these people's lives are like and how they're affected by this awful disease, leprosy. It's really important for them to just be aware of this, and then a lot of people are then inspired, or a lot of students are then inspired to support this cause, which we are so grateful for. So just getting our message out, really.
And so when you've got the sort of these virtual calls and you're able to sort of speak to everybody, what sort of structure does that take? Obviously, you've got the explaining, like you said, of the situation in the work that you're doing, but give us sort of an insight of what people might witness as they're part of it.
So our school talk that we give is a pre-recorded video. Just for technical glitches, a lot of schools find that a lot easier. So we send over this pre-recorded video that is personalised to each school. So we sort of speak to the teacher beforehand to find out what fundraising activity they're interested in taking part in, so we can mention that within the film, and then also any sort of other notes they may want us to mention as well, that can sort of just make sure the students are aware of all the messaging that we want to get across to help with their fundraising journey. Just to know like the deadlines and dates of certain events that will be taking place. So yeah, personalised to them, as well as like a JustGiving page that will be personalised to their school as well. And the resources as well that we send over to them that they could do in maybe tutor time if they have, if they've got that time available, just so that students can have that extra time after sort of viewing the film and assembly to be able to then learn more about leprosy and ask more questions if they have any.
And I guess that's the great thing, because like you say, you've got the educational side of it and the awareness side of it, which is really, really important. And then from the fundraising point of view, you have that ability to structure it as what's going to be best for your school and the curriculum or the time scale that's going to work, depending on maybe what events you've already got planned. I guess you could do it as a sponsored quiz or something like that, or it may be that that in the summer term, for example, we've definitely got this happening, and actually there's something else we'd like to add, and we can bundle it all together, and you've got all that already in the diary to go, and then you can kind of, like I say, take it as far as you want to then.
Yeah, so we're very flexible in terms of making sure that it suits their timetable. So if they have a Christmas fair, for example, and they want to raise funds during that time for Lepra, then it doesn't have to be, the Move for Lepra challenge. It can be their Christmas fair that then raises sponsorship for Lepra. So something that they're already as part of their calendar, which we can slot into, which is also great to be a part of. So we can be really flexible with what fundraising activity suits the school that would want to take part.
Fantastic. And do let me know, what's the most important thing that people need to remember in terms of where should they go, in terms of the website, your contact details, all of those sorts of things as well. And I'll make sure this comes up on screen shortly as well.
Yeah, of course. So if your school would like to take part in our Lepra Schools competition, then please do get in touch. My name is Krista Dixon, and my email address is kristad@lepra.org.uk. And we have also information on our website. So it's www.lepra.org.uk. And I also have sent over my phone number as well to you, Mark. So, feel free to get in touch and ask any questions you may have. I'm always happy to work with new schools and sort of tell them more about our schools program. And also, it's a great opportunity to be a part of this schools competition and maybe win a fantastic prize for your school. So, a tablet or a literacy bundle or £100 Amazon voucher. Who's going to say no to that? So yeah, do get on board.
Absolutely. Well, a big thank you, first of all, for all the work that you're doing. And I know you've only been doing this for 8 months or so now. You've sort of been in post, which is fantastic that you're sort of really sort of getting these sort of new ventures going. So yeah, thanks. Keep up the great work. And as you can see there on screen, we have all those details that Krista had said about. And please do get in touch with them. Do get the ball rolling. If you're still in your summer holidays and you have the opportunity to be able to share it with other schools, then do spread the word as much as you can. This video will stay here on YouTube, and you can pass that information through to everyone. So yeah, Krista, thank you so much indeed. I really appreciate you taking your time to chat about everything. Just one last thing, is there anything else that we haven't covered that you'd like to cover just before we say goodbye?
I think that's it. I suppose I'd love to hear from you before the 30th of October. And yeah, so any questions, again, just do get in touch.
Fantastic. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you so much for watching. I don't think we've got any live comments coming through, so we will say goodbye, but feel free to put any comments in if you're watching the replay, and we'll make sure they get forwarded, and any questions we can get answered. But yeah, the end of October is the most important deadline. And as we said before, we have those dates and email and contact details as well. Thank you so much indeed. Great to chat to you, and keep up the great work.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks for having us.